So, welcome to the interview. Let's start by
This
having
is
you introduce
awkward.
yourself. What's your name, your tag, and where you're from?
Like region wise or like
I guess just, yeah, whatever you want to represent. You can
okay,
say
so I'm
anything.
Jose.
Yeah.
I go by Loop or no Nocturnal Loop sometimes. Um, I'm from the East Coast, so tri-state. It's like New York, New Jersey.
hmm
Yeah.
Are you a student? And if so, what's your year and major?
I'm a student. I'm a graduate student, and I'm in the chemistry program, graduate program.
And are you graduating? Or
Yeah, I am graduating, and I'm moving back to the East Coast for a job.
let's start by kind of going over your fighting game history. So, when did you start playing fighting games, and when did you start by playing?
Platformers count, right?
Yeah, I was kind of Smash. So,
Uh, So like actually playing like I've played fighting games before like occasionally going to the arcade and just hitting buttons on
yeah,
like a random
yeah,
machine but you don't know what you're doing kinda.
yeah.
Uh, a friend from high school who was like really big on like Melee and like Smash 4 at the time I think is what it was. I was like trying to get me into it and then I got like really into like the fast pace of Melee
hmm
and that's kind of when I played. Or like I would say played but like I just knew how to like combo. I didn't really understand like the concept of neutral or anything. Um, Well, like my first exposure to like actual proper fighting games, like proper like traditional fighting games, um, it's probably Dragon Ball, I think, because when Dragon Ball came out, I felt like everyone was kind of just jumping into
Yeah, it
the
was
game.
huge.
Like literally everyone was jumping into the game. Like even people at my school who like don't play fighting games, like my school wasn't like very like I guess like nerdy, I guess you could say. It was like very like generic.
Yeah.
There's a very like the people who like played video games were like kind of like in like a small little niche. Um, and like a lot of people like even like normie like
Yeah.
for a fail of a better word like the more like no, I guess like normal people even they were playing like Dragon Ball because I was like that's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
So then I picked it up and like again I didn't know what I was doing but the combos were kind of cool. um, yeah, it's like pretty much like my first like I guess like intro like that's like before I learned how to like properly
Yeah.
play.
Like
That's like
2018 or so.
2018 or so like 20 between 2016 and 2018 was like my like really getting into fighting games phase. But like during those years I didn't really know how to like get better as these like get
Yeah.
good. I was just kind of
Yeah.
just like I know how to press buttons, I know how to hit
Every
combos.
beginner has that kind of
Yeah.
phase. So, starting from Dragon Ball, you did you go straight from there to uni, or did you play any other games in between?
Um so in college, like first freshman year,
hmm
uh I didn't really have like a video game clique per se. Like I didn't really have like people to play games with. It was kind of just like me and like my friend from high school who came with me. And like I tried to like go to the Smash Club and I went to like the Smash meetings. I saw people playing Exerd. It's like one of the things that I saw. I
Oh.
didn't play. I just saw them play. And one of the people there was like now like one of my closest friends. Was like trying to start up a fighting game club at the school. Um, and he was like really big on like Marvel. That's like his main game. So it was like so I was like I went to like one meeting, but this wasn't until like the end of my freshman year, so like I didn't miss out on like a whole year of fighting gaming. He was kind of like hitting buttons and the combos just looked really sick and cool. And I wanted to get into it. The only problem was like I guess like Marvel's like a very like high execution game.
Yeah.
It's like going into it, going like jumping that as like your first experience in a fighting game is kind of crazy.
It's funny because that's Anthony's first fight.
No, it's cool. I think it's really cool to like to watch. Like it's definitely like something that would hook someone on it. But I think it's like really hard to
It
like
is
to
hard.
just pick it up like from like no knowledge. Um, I thought that was cool, and I remember like once like the club officially got like started per se, like once we were like actually registered with the school, like my
hmm
sophomore year, we had more people sort of like coming into the club, and like it was kind of nice, and everyone was sort of bringing like new things, like Exert players, we had Marvel players, Tekken players, and I remember one like this was like end of like fall semester sophomore year. Uh, like the ist version of Uni came out and people were getting into that like it seemed like fairly simple, had combo trials, taught you how to play the game. How the Uni I would still say to this day has like one of the more like better like not like like trait like tutorials because it
hmm
teaches you things like delay tech,
Yeah, the Uni tutorial is
delay
really
mash.
comprehensive.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has like option selects and all kinds
like
of
it
yeah.
explains it well too. Like if for like a beginner, like it really kind of walks you through it. Like
hmm
even like now like as an like when you're an intermediate player you can kind of just go back and like see like oh I need to brush up on this, like learn the timing. Like it's like nowadays like people like have like recordings and like if you look at the Street Fighter 6 training mode it's like extremely detailed,
Yeah.
right? But like back then it's like having like a feature where you could just like in the tutorial itself like it just teaches you how to like do these things and it's already pre-recorded for you. It's like really nice. So I wanted to really get into that, but unfortunately, that same semester, Tekken 7 went on sale. So by the time that I actually like knew what I was doing in uni, a lot of people just like hard stopped playing uni and they went to Tekken. I think it was literally just me and like one other person who played. And then spring semester COVID hit,
Yeah.
and then like I couldn't do anything. Uni was like delay based. It was terrible. So I was just, like it was just me by myself in training mode.
Damn. That's
And then I had like my roommate who was like with me like just was until junior year though. But during COVID, I basically just like labbed a bunch and like learned how to do things. And I kind of got like an intuition for combo theory. And then like me and my roommate just like grinded out like a bunch of like friend like we knew like had like our little meta going like but like we that kind of transitioned over nicely. And then like even when I came back, like no one really played uni again because like at that point Strive was like the thing, so that's
Yeah.
kind of what I went to next. Yeah.
And then was that around the time when you graduated from undergrad?
No, Strive happened junior year. So we weren't really allowed back like fully back on campus. Like our fighting game activities weren't really allowed to continue until spring. But by that point, most people were kind of like in this period where it's like I think at that point I think Street Fighter 5 had just launched their this was I think 2021, 2020. They had launched like the last like
Yeah,
final
finals.
final edition, right? So people were trying to get into that, and then I tried it out, and my game's a little too slow for me, and like I didn't know what like footsies was at the time. Like I was just kind of like I need to learn neutral, but like neutral to me at the time was just like anime neutral.
Yeah.
Um, and then Strife came out, and like it basically was Dragon Ball 2.0. Like everyone got in on it, and like I like legitimately grinded that game a lot. Like climbed like the really shitty tower, like really terrible. Got the Celestial. I
Yeah.
mean, which doesn't mean anything. Uh, and like yeah, it was just fun. Like that's like I like actually like learned. I like took advices. I started watching more tournaments as well. Like I started reviewing my replays more. Like I actually started like learning how to get good through that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So then when like Uni 2 came, actually no, there's still like a bunch of other games that
You,
I
you came out recently.
recently.
So
So
yeah.
there's like a bunch of other games that I got like into. I would say like Strive was like probably like the biggest game I was like super into. Um, and then I think when Type Lumina came out, I tried giving that a shot, and I didn't. It didn't feel the same as Uni, so I was like kind of like deterred from it a little bit. But like now that I like better understand French bread games in general, I appreciate it more. Like I'm recently playing more Type Lumina, so
Yeah,
like I
with
like it
Chris.
with Chris. Yeah, I actually like I like it a lot more now that I actually like I know what I'm doing. Um, yeah, so I guess like and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I was just kind of like I was like I was like, always the I'm down to play whatever if someone has a setup. But the games that I wanted to play like Uni, uh, even like Dragon Ball like a little bit. Like there weren't really many people to play that.
Yeah.
So like I remember like when I don't know if this is a separate question, but when I first came here for like the Berkeley Club, it was basically the same thing. I think I first meeting I think I actually attended, like not including like the early Strive ones, just to try to get everyone to come, was the Street Fighter 5 tournament, and like that was hype.
I
That was
remember
hype. That was hype.
2022.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't play, and I did show up a little late, but it was hype. Like I actually like the environment, and that's why I was like, I'll sign up for the next tournament, and then that conflicted with one of my exams, so I couldn't go to the Grand Blue one.
Yeah.
And then the next one after that was Uni, and I'm like, might as well.
Ah. Yeah. So I guess in that time span, were you still heavy on Strive or Uni or?
Strive was slowly dying, I think, at that point. Even like at the club here, it was like literally just like Chung and Eric played, but like it was kind of like they only played like if they had to play. It wasn't like they were actively seeking out games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe that Strive even is till this point in time in the club. It's kind of just like everyone can play, everyone's down to play it, but like you have to be the one to ask for games first. Um, it's just that kind of game. Um, so yeah, I mean, I didn't really think much about fighting games my first semester here. It wasn't until like spring where I actually got like way more involved.
I do remember. So you ended up trying like a bunch of games both here and at Cornell.
Yeah,
Which one did you say is your favorite?
games
Yeah, games.
that I tried or that I like actively play.
Um, I guess both. I assume your favorite would be a game that you're active.
Uh, I think it's interesting because I would say like before I would have like like been like dead set that I'm like yeah Uni's probably my
Yeah.
favorite game I would have said, but like now that I've like learned a bunch of other different games and other fighting mechanics, there's like other games that I feel like if I put more time into them I might like them more than Uni. Like maybe like other like older Melty probably, KOF, like they're games that like right now maybe I would say like I still find Uni more fun. Like it's still my favorite game. But I feel like if I understood like the more intrinsic, like the more like what's the word? Like the higher level mind games,
Yeah.
like the higher layers, like the layer 3, layer 4s of KOF and Melty. I think I either like it better or about as much as Uni.
Yeah, I get that. I think those games, like from an outsider's perspective, they seem deep, but I just haven't put
Yeah.
in the time to access that.
Yeah, now that like from the beginner tournament that we had for Melty, we had like I think the KOF 98 tournament, like I didn't really understand what was going on when I was playing. Like it just felt fun to play.
Uh-huh.
But like now that I've actually like looked into both games, I understand that there's like a lot more like thinking going on to each action. So it's like very cool. Definitely do like the more fast-paced games
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I guess speaking of fast-paced games, like you're kind of known for playing more. I guess not always, but you played Chip and Strive when he first came out.
That was a mistake.
Really? How come?
Uh, because Chip is the type of character where he makes you think that you're good at neutral.
Because he's so fast.
He's fast and his buttons recover really quickly,
Mhm.
so it feels kind of like you can whiff punish other people, but they can't whiff punish
Yeah, I
you.
remember you telling me that.
And when I remember, like the biggest example of this is like when I tried like dabbling in Street Fighter 5, I felt like I was getting just like cooked in like footsies by like literally people who knew what the heck they were doing, or at least like knew what footsies was.
Yeah,
With Chip, it's just kind of like originally when I played Chip, I was very read heavy, which like is still like shows in my playstyle. Like I still play very read heavy to some extent. But one of my friends from Cornell, I think she played Ramlethal, or yeah, she was like telling me like, oh, you got to play more reactive. You can't play always read heavy. You know, you got to play reactive. Um, and I started playing more reactive with that, and I'm like, this character's stupid. This character can literally just whip punish anything. Like if like I don't know, like what's it like May or Ramthal with like far slash from like full screen. Like I can just like micro dash up and whip
Yeah.
punish it. I'm like, that's so stupid.
especially with Strive Dash Macro.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then his mix was cool. Uh, and then Potemkin's the one that really stuck with me in that game, I think.
That's funny because I never really took you as a grappler player. In uni, like you played
Potemkin's
Tanase
special.
and
Potemkin's
Seth.
special.
You also play Zangief too. So
No,
what's
Zangief
the
is
deal with
different.
that?
Zangief is because I found the Potemkin mod over Zangief.
Ah, that's funny.
And he seemed easy enough to pick up to the point where I was just kind of just SPDing people, and I'm like, okay, if I have good reads and I SPD people, I can compensate for lack of combos,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
fair enough.
He is like the character if you don't know any combos.
Yeah.
But why Potemkin?
uh, I don't know. He's very goofy for a grappler. I don't know. He's kind of funny. He's got funny buttons. A lot of his button like there's one friend that I always played with, and like we like there's definitely that types of people that you play sets with. Like, oh, I play with this person if I want to learn. Like, I know I'm gonna get my ass beat, but I'm gonna learn a lot. I play with this person if I'm just trying to fuck around. Like, I'm just trying to. He's one of those. And during one of those like sessions, like we were just playing. I think I was playing Potemkin, and I forgot who he was playing. But that was like probably the most fun I've had playing Strive. And I was like, why am I not playing this character? And like, I tried just like learning him like on the side like for casuals, and yeah, I guess he ended up becoming like a real. I know like people say like, oh, he's not as good as your Chip, but like I have more fun playing Potemkin.
Mhm.
That's why I played him in the whatever it was, the little exhibition with the people at the
yeah, I
UCI.
remember. Yeah.
He's more fun, and I got to do some of the cool stuff that I learned.
What about your Happy Chaos arc? Because I know you also played him.
Oh, that was just kind of like people said this character's broken, and I want to see if he's actually broken. It
Yeah.
kind of was, yeah.
All right, so
People
You-
also forget that I played May. That's
yeah,
actually the first
that's
character
true.
that I played. Yeah, no one. Eric's like the only person that knows that I play May. Everyone else kind of just like, oh, you're the Chip player.
I remember you saying like, oh, I can play charge characters and I learned how to do this.
I like May because her original playing plan in season 1 and 2 was entirely like RPS. It was entirely literally just guess. And then like they took that away in season 3, and I'm like, she's more just like a space control neutral monster now
Uh-huh.
with like a shit ton of damage, and I'm like, yeah, it's not for me.
Are there any specific fighting game mechanics or character archetypes that you really don't like playing or playing against?
Playing against.
Yeah.
So dislike, no. Okay, actually no. There's no character that I'm like, I hate this character. I like if someone asks me for casuals with this character, I'm gonna say a hard no. Like I'm not like that kind of person.
Uh-huh.
But I will say with Street Fighter 6 specifically, this is the first time I think I felt the way about a matchup playing on ranked, and I don't play very much, by the way. I have like
Yeah.
maybe like 20 hours on the
Yeah.
game. The way I play is I literally just wait for my opponents to do something stupid,
Yeah.
and then I just like either SPD them or just like anti-air them. And every time I fight a Guile player online, we go to like timeout, like every single time. Like I'm not even kidding. Like neither
Yeah.
one of us wants to move, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like it's not even like it's just boring. I don't know how to explain it. It's not even it isn't it's just boring.
It is. Although you do get to experience the very rare Street Fighter 6 timeout. I think I've almost.
It's just because they
never
don't
seen
move. They
timeouts.
just don't move.
Yeah. That is like the layer one Gao player. He just turtles
Just
down
don't
back.
move. But I know Guile's got cool stuff. I just like because I've seen
But yeah, not
I've
in
seen
low
because
ranks.
not specifically not in low ranks and not against Geef specifically.
Yeah.
I think against Geef like he wants to kind of play that
Yeah.
like lame game, like it's intentional.
Yeah, you can't really wait him out. It's unfortunate
Yeah.
the nature of your character and his character.
Like I've had rough matchups. Like I think in Uni, like Yuzu was pretty bad for me at some point. Batista, in Strive, I didn't like what's that character? Like season 1 Soul was terrible,
Mhm.
but like they were bad to play against. But it didn't feel like I'm not having fun.
Yeah,
Kind of. Like even if I was getting like destroyed by unfair stuff, it was kind of still fun.
I get that. I think Guile definitely is one of those characters that does things to people. Okay, just some other miscellaneous questions.
Yeah.
What other video games do you like playing? I
Me?
know you enjoy like Yu-Gi-Oh. I've seen you play.
Well,
Ace
that's
Attorney.
not really a video game.
Yeah, it's not a video game.
Yeah.
Other games, I guess.
I like entirely basically Ace Attorney. That whole mystery genre has like always been like big for me. I've always been big on mystery. It's part of the reason why I like made the like I said main because we're thinking about video games, but I majored in chemistry. I like decided to pick that as like my major. I've always liked like reading like mystery novels and just
Mhm.
like looking at like mystery games. Picked the mystery genre for the anime tournament, didn't win. I didn't even get top 4. Yeah, it's always been like the thing for me. It's like good storytelling, keeping readers on the seat of like it's always been like I don't know, it's just always been something been fun for me. I like the whole like deduction aspect, this thinking like the whole like mind games that can happen between like culprit and like people.
Yeah.
It's
Have
like
you
a lot
played
of
Danganronpa?
played pretty much every mystery game you can think of. Most of like the mainstream ones.
Yeah, you're deeper into this than I am. I only know Dot and Ace Attorney.
You haven't even played Zero Escape.
Never heard of it.
Should definitely play it.
Yeah.
And then Yu-Gi-Oh is just kind of like a side hobby at this point. At least like the way I tell myself is between Christmas and Evo, it's fighting games, like going hard on fighting games, and then between after Evo to Christmas is just
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it's a few months.
Yeah, exactly. Just like take a small break.
What has more degenerate gameplay, Yu-Gi-Oh or like a really Kusuke fighting game?
Oh, Real Kuzuki. Actually, they're both actually pretty equal. People always compare like Yu-Gi-Oh. They call it like the Marvel of card games because like it's less so now. Like more so now. It's like more interactive
Mhm.
and like the way the game is going is healthier. But like a couple years back, it was literally just one person doesn't get to play the game,
Yeah, I've heard.
which is very like high level Marvel-esque. Like
But is there still skill or is it like coin flippy?
oh, it's definitely skill. I think skill comes in like the deck building's where most of the skill comes in. I would say like anyone can become good with a deck if they just memorize like a spreadsheet, which is like what people do. Like they make like Excel sheets of like of specific lines and people just memorize it. But it takes good to know what to take in and out of your deck,
For like specific matchups and stuff like that.
and also just between event to event, just knowing who you're playing against,
Yeah.
what you're going to be seeing, making the right meta call.
Do you think there's any transferable skill between playing card games and fighting games?
Bluffing is really important. There are times where like you'll do a certain play where like it'll make your I feel or the better term is in card games in general. I consider it like it's a war or it's like a battle of information. You know, having the more information obviously gives you more of an advantage, and I kind of translate that to mental stack. It's kind of like when I play a card game, I sort of think of like I know what cards my opponent know that I have. I know
Yeah,
what they
that's
think
true.
that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So in a fighting game, at least like maybe this is the reason why like I like pressuring a lot or like my pressure's like pretty decent, is because I'm aware of like what options I've shown my opponent. Like I know like these are like the last 2 block strings I've done.
That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Yeah. I would have thought you said something about like guessing correctly. I guess that's part of guessing correctly.
Yeah, because if the
Yeah.
more if you know information, you sort of like have an idea. It's like making educated guesses, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. That's a nice way of putting it. But yeah, I gotta wrap up the interview here. So one final question.
Sure.
You told us that you're graduating. Do you have any plans after graduation? Where are you headed to? What are you gonna be doing?
So I'm headed to Boston.
Mhm.
I'm going to be working at a process chemistry company for the summer, and I'll be transitioning full time in the fall. And for big goals,
Any fighting game goals left?
so I heard that the Boston multi scene is pretty good, so I'm gonna try to actually like grind up on that.
Nice.
And the other thing is that I know like moving away from like Anime Central NorCal, I'm gonna have to become a more, I guess, like a mainstream gamer to some extent.
Yeah.
So
Street Fighter.
I might have to, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that DLC 3 has like a character
Yeah.
that really clicks with me because
Or,
like
City of the Wolves to
City of the
XKO,
Wolves?
maybe. Yeah.
Ronaldo. Oh, I mean, I like the ninja dude. I forgot his name.
Oh, Hakutomaru.
Hakutomaru was
Yeah.
cool. He has a double jump. That's like all I wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe Salvatore. I don't know. Maybe he does like his weird kick super.
I would be interested to see how he plays.
Yeah. Ronaldo probably for a bit. Because everyone's gonna play Ronaldo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I had to ask. Thanks for coming to the interview.
Okay,
I'll stop
cool.
the recording.
All right.